to put this at the end of this video, but because it's not interesting to watch without talking whenever it's this long. But this was me getting ready for a Christmas Eve party, and it is now the day after Christmas. And I don't know if you can tell by how I sound, but I feel like absolute garbage right now. My sinuses are like completely screwed. But anyways, I didn't have it in me to sit down and like film like a proper get ready with me video. I just wasn't feeling the greatest, like mentally or physically, but I still wanted to film something, so I just did a sped up video. Sometimes I watch my sped up makeup videos back and I kind of laugh a little bit because I'm like, okay, I look like a fucking dork, you know? But anyways, I am glad actually that I decided to not film like a proper get ready with me, because like me and my sister had spent hours trying to get a hold of somebody about what time this party was, because it used to be the same time, like our entire lives it was the same time, and then within the last few years it's changed because I have a lot of family that works in like the medical field, so they have to work on Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, it doesn't matter. So we started like shuffling things around so that they wouldn't have to miss it. So we had no fucking idea what time this party was. And then all at one time, I got a text from 3 different people that I would describe as being adults. 3 different adults. Never mind the fact that I'm 35. Letting me know exactly what time it was. And I would not have had time. I would not have had time to film like a proper get ready with me and also get Mr. E in the bath and get him dressed and everything and ready to go before we left. I think this is one of the few times in my life that me being lazy because of my mental and physical health has worked out well for me. I didn't know what I was doing when I sat down to do it. I had no idea what I wanted to do. I just went with the tried and true brown, and I was kind of upset because I did try to get some like cute selfies with it or whatever, but I was like, this feels kind of pointless because you literally can't tell what it looks like. But then I did take like a little video of me in bed trying to capture Winnie whining in her sleep. She does this thing where she like, you can tell that she's like barking at something in her sleep, and I was trying to get it, and you can see like how pretty like the glitter looks, but in none of the selfies that I took can you appreciate my makeup. Also, my brows were like entirely too thick, and I decided to go in with I decided to risk it for the biscuit and go in with a Q-tip and try to like thin them out, and it actually worked out a little bit. I need to get a new brow brush because the one that I have, there's one that I have that I absolutely love, but it's like tiny. It's like half the size of a regular makeup brush, and I have lost it and I have no idea where it went. That's the thing with my eyebrow brushes. I either know where all 50 million of them are, or I don't know where any of them are. And the only one that I can find right now is like one that I got in a BoxyCharm probably close to a fucking decade ago. And I feel like it kind of forces me to make my eyebrows a lot thicker than I want them to be, though I don't think that they look bad. You know what I mean? I've kind of like given up on my mission to have pencil thin eyebrows. I've always wanted to have pencil thin eyebrows, and I just, unless I completely shave my brows off, I can't. And then I've got my stupid ass mole on my, hold on, I have to check. My right, I have to put my fingers in the air and be like, which hand do I write with again? What the fuck was I talking about? I have a mole on my right eyebrow, and that like complicates me putting the tail on. And I have noticed that it's easier for me to put the tail of my eyebrow on when I put it on thicker. And I will never understand what in me thought it was a good idea to get my right eyebrow pierced when I already struggle with drawing on my eyebrows because of the mole. And I'm like, you know what I want to do? Further complicate things. If there's one thing I'm gonna do in life, bitch, it's make things way harder on myself than they have to be. See, I'm putting on this glitter, and I feel like you can't fully appreciate it in this video. As if I watched it back, I just sped it up and saved it. I just sped it up and saved it. But like all the selfies that I took, I feel like you can't see the glitter at all. And that's kind of devastating. That's kind of heartbreaking. Though I didn't really have it in me to like get up and like take pictures that were not me just sitting at my little makeup desk thing. I was also a little panicked about how thick I put the glitter under my eyes, but then it ended up working out fine. My too much gene, I let it fly there and it ended up working out. I try to cling to those moments, you know, when I do too much and it all ends up being okay. I try to cling to those. Also, fuck these eyelashes. This is the last time that I will ever wear them. They are like, when I put them on, one seems like it's longer than the other, but if I hold, because I put my eyelashes together when I cut them, and when I hold them up next to each other or put them against each other, they're the same length. When I put them on, one is shorter than the other. And I know that I have two faces pasted together, but still. Oh shit, I think we're coming up on the end. I think we're coming up on the end, but I feel like you can tell on my right eye. Yeah, that's my right eye that the lash is, it looks longer. But if you physically pick it up, look at it, touch it, if you touch it, like measure it, it's not. They're the same length. I don't understand, but that's the last time I'm going to be wearing them. It sucks because they're the faux mink ones, the Kiss faux mink ones. I might go back to the dollar store and get more. I don't know. I'm feeling like trash, so not today, but soon. I kind of want to see if I can find similar ones at the Dollar Tree because those ones are $4. I'm coming up on the end. And I don't want to talk past the recording time. Am I dying? We're not paying attention to the fact that I'm on the toilet right now. We're just paying attention to the fact that there's a Christmas tree in the bathroom. She stopped when he was a wooing in her sleep. 2 a.m. Don't mind the sound of my cat eating very loudly, but it's 2 a.m. and I'm downstairs putting the final touches on the tree for when the boys wake up, you know, finishing their stockings, dealing with this creepy little bitch staring at me. I slept from, I think, 10 until around midnight, and I'm gonna try like hell to go back to bed. But before I can go back to bed, I have to get something to eat because I've been living on nothing but like a tin of those like butter Danish cookies that my mom gave me because I didn't eat any actual food at the Christmas party because of course I fucking didn't. I wake up starving. I wake up absolutely starved, and I'm like, you know what? After I get these stockings perfected, I'm gonna go in the kitchen, I'm gonna pop me some fucking ramen into the microwave, I'm gonna sit down, I'm gonna eat, I'm gonna be full of salt and carbs, I'm gonna feel great, I'm gonna pass the fuck out until E is banging on my door that Santa came, right? Tell me why the second that I put that bitch in the microwave and hit start, a fuse blew. And if there's one thing about me, bitch, I'm not going into the basement. And also, I don't know how to do a fuse box. So I feel like the universe wants me to go insane. Genuinely. It wants me to lose my mind. It's Christmas, bitch. Like, can I just have a break? Is he a Christmas dog? Oh my god, I just heard something move and I'm home alone. So it better be one of the cats or it better be a dog. You know what, at this point, if somebody broke into my house, I'd probably be like, what do you want me to do about this? I don't feel good. Mentally or physically. Not feeling too hot. It's the day after Christmas, which is the same day that you guys will be seeing this. Listen. For the boys, it was the best Christmas that they had ever had because they got literally everything that they asked for. They got 100% of their list. So it was their best Christmas ever. However, for me, mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, I had an awful Christmas. I had an awful Christmas. Is that a depression knot? It feels like it. I really did. I really did not have a good Christmas, and I have a giant bruise on my leg. I've been getting these mystery bruises, and the thing is, I'm not usually a member of the mystery bruise club. Like, I don't know if you guys remember, a couple of months ago, I think it was, I flew down a flight of cement stairs. I vlogged it. I didn't get a single bruise from that. Why am I suddenly fine? I found 2 bruises on my leg this week. I have no fucking idea where they came from. One on my knee, which I don't see anymore, and then I just found one inside of my thigh. I was about to say I didn't film at all yesterday, but that's kind of a lie because I did take a clip of October in front of the Christmas tree. And I also did sit down and try to film on my MacBook with my external hard drive, which did great. It did great, sweetie. It did exactly what it was supposed to do. It saved my video to it. It saved my video to it instead of my MacBook. So it did wonderful. You're doing great, sweetie. However, I did not switch my OBS settings. So it's 30 minutes of me playing and talking, but you can't see the fucking game. All you can see is my desktop. Like, I sat here and took like an hour making a new sim so that I could play this, and took a half hour to film it and watched it back and was like, oh my god, there's nothing there. I just gave up and went to bed after that. I like didn't have it in me to vlog yesterday though. I did not have it in me. Is that water or dry skin? Water or dry skin? Water droplets or dry skin? It looks like water. Anyways, I did not have it in me to film yesterday. I usually shuffle around on Christmas, like very, very tired. This was like, I can't even describe it. I cannot even begin to describe it. And like, I was starving and sleep deprived. And, I'm not going to lie to you guys. I'm not going to sit here and like sugarcoat it or whatever. I definitely had like a BPD meltdown. From lack of sleep and from lack of food. I did at one point in time, like Epps had to work yesterday, and we ordered Chinese food because that's the only food that's open on Christmas where I live. And I had to go. I had to leave. And my ride was here to go to my grandma's. And so I sat in the front seat of the car and was eating my lo mein. I got veggie lo mein out of a bowl with a fork, with my headphones on, just disassociating, trying to just like do it. I've had like days and days and days of just living on junk, just living on, you know how it is around the holidays when you're just so fucking stuffed full of sugar and just like shit that has no nutritional value that you're just like, I feel like shit. When I was at my dad's house, my stepmom made lasagna, and I told my niece, like, this is the first real food that I've had in a long time. And she's like, you better eat that. You better eat that. And then tomorrow, when you can go to the store, you better get some vegetables and you better make yourself a salad. You better eat that. And I was like, oh my God, you are your father's daughter. That's how my brother is. Because that's how his mom is. That woman would literally make me sit at the table until like 3 in the morning because I wouldn't eat green beans. And that is why I will never make my children eat something that they don't want to eat. I'm the one way that shit works out, and my brother is the other way that shit works out. You know what I just tried to do? I watch my eyes are going to turn like bright red. I just put this shit like under my eye and then tried to like pat it in, but it ended up getting in the crease of my eye. So like if it starts irritating the shit out of my eye, I'm going to be pissed. Now watch it will. And look, my eyebrow ring's pissed off too. Everybody's just mad. We'll all just be mad. I did, at the end of the night, like, Epps had to work on Christmas Eve, and he had to work on Christmas Day. It fucking sucked. I did, at the end of the night, the boys ended up going with E's dad because they're going to New York for the rest of the week and throughout the weekend. I'm in my room alone, and I just tried to film my Sims video, and it didn't work, which I was like, well, I'm glad to know that the hard drive works, but I can't believe that that happened. But anyways, I'm alone. Epps is still on the clock. The kids are gone, and I just had an absolute meltdown. I just literally, like, I don't know. And if you know anything about like BPD meltdowns, um, they can either like last hours, they can last days, or they can show up really quick and then go away just as quickly. And that's thankfully the kind that I had was the kind that like abruptly showed up and then like abruptly left. It was like once I got that frustration out, it was like over with, but it was like shitty. I thought that I was gonna have a grippy sock vacation. I thought I'm gonna end up in a ward. And I hate the ward and I don't want to go back. They're boring. Everyone that I've ever been to, they force you to eat. Everyone gains like a pound a day while they're there. I don't want to, the last one that I was in was so strict you couldn't have books. You were allowed to watch it. We had to watch the same movie on repeat and then talk about our feelings about it. Listen to the same songs on repeat, talk about our feelings about it. I hated it. I hated it. Like, no. And you weren't allowed to have a phone. But I see people all the time like posting on social media from a phone, which is wild to me. But it's been a while since I've been to one. It's been a decade since I've been to one. So I don't know if things have just changed or like what, or if it was just like that particular hospital that I was at. But like they would not let you have a phone. And you couldn't go outside. You weren't allowed to go outside. There was no fresh air. So I'm like, I can do this. Breathe, bitch. It was not ideal. But it was like once it was over, it was over. But it's like I survived that somehow, some way. Anyways, one thing that you're supposed to do is like identify like why it happened, and I absolutely like know what triggered it. I know what triggered it, and it was just like the fact that I was tired, the fact that I was sick, the fact that like I needed to eat something with like some sustenance in it. I was like living on cookies and pie and candy and shit like that. And like every fucking year, no, one time I tried to go downstairs and make myself food, which I go down there and I hit the number on the microwave and I blew a fuse. I was like, this is what I get. Like, this is the universe being like, hey, fuck you. I didn't get back to sleep after that. Like, I think I filmed it. I think it's in this at the beginning of this vlog. I was downstairs at 2 o'clock in the morning. I didn't get back to sleep. And the kids are allowed to open presents at 6:30 in the morning. So I kept on keeping on. I did get a little bit of a nap, but it was like one of those naps that made it worse. You know what I mean? Like sometimes whenever you take a nap, you're like, I probably shouldn't have done that because now I'm more tired than I was. But like I had to go out to my grandma's. And she ended up back in the hospital and nobody fucking told me. She had just gotten out. And then I went to my dad's and then like... I was shuffling. I was literally, my eyes were on fire. My eyes felt like they were going to start bleeding. My brain felt like it was on fire. Like, I chugged a water. I got to Dad's and I was like, Dad, I have to have something to drink. And I chugged a water and it was like the best thing I ever tasted in my life. The growth. Bitch, the growth. If you're an OG here, you know that me and plain water have beef, okay? But I'm healing my relationship with plain water. I'll drink it now. I prefer it now. But you used to, oh my God, I used to have to put water in like a cute cup and like jack it up with like Crystal Light in order to drink it. And now I'm just like, okay, as long as it's not one of those, no, if you ever fucking look at me and try to tell me that all water tastes the same, ooh, bitch. Sometimes I get water and I think it tastes like what I imagine pool water. Or what I like have vague memories of being a kid and getting pool water in my mouth. Because now I don't like, if I go in a pool, I'm only going up to my waist, you know? But it's like, it tastes like chlorine. And there's like no consistency with a brand. Like sometimes you buy one and you're like, I like this one. It tastes good. And then you open one and you're like, why the fuck does this taste like swallowing pool water? Which, by the way, don't start on me about drinking bottled water. The water where I live is not safe to drink. I always have to say that. But it poisons people. Like literally, you're supposed to boil it before you use it. Anyways, I think I'm going to go ahead and end this video. I think I'm going to try to make, I have this urge to like CC, custom content shop on Sims, and I want to like try out a couple. I want to try out Woohoo Wellness, which is a mod I've never had. Listen, that game that I started yesterday, I turned full autonomy on because I was like, ooh, listen, Pink is pregnant. Pink is pregnant. I installed MC Woohoo, which allows teens to get pregnant, and so she's pregnant. And I was like, okay, before I go through the motions of raising this baby, I want to play with a different sim to like have a palate refresher, right? Because one thing about me, bitches, I fucking hate playing with babies in the Sims. I have fucking speed run them being babies. I hate it. I hate how buggy infants and toddlers are. Like, it pisses me off so bad. So bad. If they weren't buggy, I wouldn't mind it. If they weren't, but, and I'm not the type of, like, I'm just like I was when my kids were little. I am with my Sims game where I helicoptered them all the time. Like, I literally would follow them around and be like, everything, they were never alone in a room. And then as I got older, like they became toddlers, I would literally leave the bathroom door open whenever I was like using the bathroom or showering or anything. Like, they'd be like 4 or 5 years old, and I'm still listening for them. You know what I mean? So I'm that way in Sims 4 with my babies. I literally helicopter them and like neglect my Sims needs for them and all this stuff. But I'm just not ready for that. I'm excited to start my 5th generation, but I'm just not ready for that yet. The more that I think about it, should it surprise me that at 11 and 13 years old, like if I hang out with my kids for more than like 15 minutes, after a while, they're like, okay, all right, Mom. They're beaming at me through their brain. Get the fuck out, you know? They're video game kids, though. Oh my God, all Christmas, everybody's like, oh, dude, I thought about getting them a fishing pole. I'm like, they're video game kids. The video game kids. Much like their mother, they're perpetually on vitamin D supplements because they are indoorsy kids. And a lot of my family like lives in the middle of nowhere, and they hunt and they fish and they ride 4-wheelers and they ride motorcycles and they spend a lot of time outside. And I'm like, listen, my kids are city kids. It's not like when I was a kid and I was running around in the woods and playing outside from the moment that the sun came up until I couldn't see in front of my face. They're city kids. They like video games. Like, anyways, I think I'm going to go ahead and end this video. I'm not really sure what I'm going to do today because part of me feels tempted to play with makeup because I've had yellow eyeshadow stuck in my head for days. And part of me is like tempted to play The Sims. And I'm also trying to remind myself that it's 3 p.m. So I do have time for both. But I don't know. Anyways, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.